Oh, hey guys! Welcome back to Book Talks with Maya. Today we're going to be talking about The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. So down to business. The novel takes place in the mid-1980s in what we know as America, but is renamed the Republic of Gilead for the book's purposes because it was taken over by the government, who is really corrupt and really bad. The main character is referred to as Offred, and I say referred to because it's not actually her real name, but we never actually learn her real name, and she's referred to as Offred throughout the novel. Now, in Gilead, due to nuclear disaster, most women are infertile, but a select few, Offred included, remain fertile and are sent off to homes in which they are to live as handmaids, or put more simply, baby makers. Offred ends up being assigned to the home of the commander in Serena Joy. She's forced to have sex with the commander, the goal being to conceive and bear his child. While she's there, she meets another handmaid named Offglen, who she becomes quite close with. After much time, Offred still does not conceive, and she's sent to a doctor who says that it's likely not Offred's fault that she's not conceiving, but it's most likely the commander. He's probably infertile. To solve this, commander's wife, Serena Joy, suggests that Offred conceive a child with their gardener, Nick, and pass the baby off to the commanders. Now, what Serena Joy does not know is Offred had already been visiting Nick, and he had been teaching her how to read and write and play Scrabble, all of which are huge no-nos in Gilead, for women are not to be educated. It's a highly anti-feminist environment. Serena Joy, not knowing this, also offered an incentive she knew Offred could not pass up: a photo of Offred's little girl. Before becoming a handmaid, Offred had a family. She had an affair with a married man named Luke, and before anything else happened, before she was captured, they ended up trying to escape to Canada, and they were all captured, all separated, and she didn't know what happened to her daughter or Luke. She kind of assumed that they were dead. But because of Serena Joy's offer, she learns that her daughter is not dead, but even more shockingly that Serena Joy knew about her daughter's whereabouts, which is like kind of crazy. That was a huge plot twist. Nonetheless, Offred takes her up on her offer, and she begins to have sex with Nick, and they actually end up developing feelings for each other and kind of having a relationship not known to anyone else. And remember when I mentioned Offlin, that other handmaid? Yeah. By the way, she told Offred she was part of an organization called Mayday that was working to overthrow the secret police, otherwise known as the Eyes, that worked for Gilead. Not long after the whole situation aforementioned, Offlin commits suicide, ostensibly because the Eyes were coming for her. Soon after that, Offred comes home one day to find the police taking her away. Nick said that the police were actually just Mayday people in disguise, but we don't really know, and the book just ends with Offred getting into the car, and the rest is left for the reader to interpret. Throughout the novel, there's a large existentialist theme that keeps on occurring. Offred, even in the predicament that she's in, continues to kind of have an existential view. For instance, there's a quote that I would like to bring up. The quote is, she said, "But a chair, sunlight, flowers, these are not to be dismissed. I am alive, I live, I breathe, I put my hands out, unfolded into the sunlight. Where I am is not a prison, but a privilege." That quote in itself illustrates Offred's will to survive. She realized she's stuck in this situation, and she has to make the best of it. Kind of reaching into the light or the sun, that kind of symbolizes her reaching for, the unattainable, but it's, a will to survive, a desire that's remains strong despite her humiliating role as a birthing slave, I believe that Offred's condition and Offred's place in the novel can really be linked to Camus' beliefs on existentialism. Offred realized she's not going anywhere. This is the way it is. This society is completely corrupt, and this is how she is going to have to live, so she's just going to have to make the best of it. And that, coming to terms with, is such a key component of existentialism, as Camus very much emphasizes. This book, though slightly on the longer side and on the thicker side, something I probably might otherwise avoid, was actually really good and very hard to put down. And there's so many more themes. I could talk about the feminist, view of this book for hours. But as a whole, if you have not yet read this book, you really should, because though it's more recent, it is becoming a renowned masterpiece that will likely be considered one of the best books in history for years to come. So I really recommend picking it up. It's probably at your local bookstore, and I really hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. If you know me, come and talk to me about it. All right, guys. Bye.